Taknar slumped against the cold metal wall of the transport vessel, his scaled skin prickling in the artificial atmosphere that never quite felt right. 3 cycles had passed since his homeworld had been destroyed in the galactic conflict. 3 cycles of refugee camps, temporary identification cards, and suspicious glances from every species in the aligned worlds. Destination, Earth Colony Epsilon 4. All non-humans report to processing upon arrival. The automated announcement echoed through the hold. Taknar's 4 eyes blinked in sequence. A nervous habit from childhood. Earth Colony. Humans. Of all the species in the galaxy, they had the strangest reputation. Unpredictable, emotional, illogical, yet somehow they had survived countless wars and had expanded across 3 star systems in just 2 centuries. Their colonies were known to accept refugees, but acceptance wasn't the same as welcome. The ship shuddered as it docked. Taknar gathered his meager belongings, a small data crystal containing family recordings, his emergency rations, and the traditional ceremonial blade that marked him as an adult of the Varine people. Not that it mattered anymore. As far as he knew, there were fewer than 10,000 Varine left in the universe. Processing was exactly as degrading as he expected. Scans, samples, questions, more scans. Species, Varine. Status, Refugee Class B. Assignment, Agricultural District, Block 7, the human officer said without looking up from her screen. Report to Tom Reed at the Central Hub for Housing and Work. Assignment. Taknar nodded, not bothering to correct her pronunciation of his species. At least she had tried, which was more than most. The agricultural district was on the outskirts of the colony. Flat, open land with rows of strange earth, crops stretching to the horizon. Block 7 was a cluster of prefabricated buildings, each one identical to the next. The central hub was easy to locate, a larger structure with a faded blue sign. Inside, a human male with graying hair and sun-weathered skin was studying a tablet. He looked up as Taknar entered, his expression neutral. "You must be the new assignment." Taknar? He asked, struggling but making a genuine effort with the name. "Yes," Taknar replied, using the simplified human vocalization he had practiced. "Tom Reed," the human said, extending his hand before seeming to remember that Varine preferred not to touch strangers. He awkwardly returned his hand to his side. "Sorry about that. Old habits." The human showed Taknar to a small dwelling at the edge of Block 7. It was basic but clean, with a bed modified for Varine physiology. "Someone did research," Taknar observed, surprised. "My daughter, Lisa. She works in xenobiology at the Colony Center. Insisted we get it right," Tom explained. "Rest today. Tomorrow I'll show you the fields." Days turned to weeks. Taknar learned the rhythm of Earth agriculture, so different from the atmospheric harvesting his people had practiced. Tom was patient, explaining each process, each plant, each piece of equipment. He never showed frustration when Taknar's 4-digited hands struggled with tools designed for humans. One evening, after a long day of harvesting, Tom invited Taknar to his home. "My wife Anna has been curious about you," he explained as they walked. "And Lisa is visiting from the center." Dinner was awkward at first. Taknar carefully ate the specially prepared food while the humans tried not to stare at his feeding method. But then Lisa began asking questions about Varine biology, genuinely interested rather than merely curious. Anna shared stories of the colony's early days. Tom spoke of his family back on Earth. "Do you have family searching for you?" Anna asked gently. Taknar's inner eyelids flickered with emotion. "No. They were in the capital when..." He didn't need to finish. The destruction of the Varine homeworld had been broadcast across every channel in the galaxy. "I'm sorry," Anna said, and reached across the table, stopping just short of touching his arm. "That was thoughtless of me." "It was not," Taknar replied. "It is good to speak of them." As weeks became months, these dinners became regular. Taknar learned human customs, birthdays, holidays, the strange concept of weekends. He taught them Varine meditation techniques and traditional songs. When the first harvest was complete, Tom surprised him with a traditional Varine ceremonial meal, clearly researched and prepared with great care. "It is not perfect," Tom apologized. "Some ingredients don't exist here." "It is more than I expected to ever have again," Taknar replied, his voice thick with emotion. When winter came, bringing storms that kept everyone indoors, Taknar found himself spending more and more time at the Reed home. Lisa taught him human games. Anna insisted he try her cooking experiments. Tom showed him how to repair equipment, a valuable skill for any colony dweller. During one particularly fierce storm, the power grid failed. The temperature dropped rapidly, dangerous for a Varine whose homeworld had been considerably warmer than Earth Colony Epsilon 4. "You'll stay with us," Tom insisted when Taknar mentioned returning to his dwelling. "We have backup heating." That night, huddled in the Reeds' living room as the storm raged outside, Lisa asked about Varine family structures. "We live in community groups," Taknar explained. "What humans might call extended families. Children are raised by all adults, like us," Anna said softly. "At least how families used to be on Earth, before everyone scattered to the stars." When spring arrived and a new planting season began, Taknar found that Tom had restructured the field assignments. "I've listed you as family labor rather than colony assignment," Tom explained. "Pays better, gives you more rights in the colony, if that's acceptable to you." Taknar stared at the documentation. Family labor had legal implications within human colony structure. It meant Tom had officially claimed him as family. "Why?" he asked simply. Tom looked uncomfortable, as humans often did when discussing emotions. "Because you are," he said finally, "not by blood, but by choice. That's how it works with us humans sometimes. What happens when a human accepts you as family?" Taknar discovered. You gain not just protection or status, but belonging. In a galaxy where his people were scattered and dying, he had found something he never expected, a future. Not just survival, but life, with all its complexity, warmth, and hope. For the first time since watching his homeworld burn, Taknar felt his spirits lift. Among the strangest species in the galaxy, he had found his place.